All guests do not state or reflect those of the company, its management, sponsors, or any entities they represent.
Oh, it's lit. We prime time. Subscribe, like, and share. Give us your feedback. Yo, I'm Manny at the plate and Kobe off of steel. Gretzky for the goal and Brady at the wheel. I'm a game changer, the Osaka of the tennis. And breaking scoreboards, Simone to the Olympics. Defense and big business, the Mayweather who way better. From the greatness of Jim Brown, I've been down. Talking sports before I was off the porch. Screaming Bo knows while Jordan was playing horse. Late 80s getting torched by the drive and the shot. 2016 got a ring off the three in the block. They eased to forgot the cardiac kids. Price and Doherty, Bill in the Indian years. This who it is. Your host DeeTrynt, yo, that's a name banger. Come in the streets and talk sports with the game changer. Yo, your host DeeTrynt, that's a name banger. Come in the streets and talk sports with the game changer.
Yo, what's really good? DeeTrynt, Game Changer Sports Talk, Industry Sports, man. Streaming on multiple media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Follow us on IG at Industry Sports or at DeeTrynt. If you missed the live streams, please catch the replays on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, and various other streaming platforms. Just look for the Industry Sports channel, subscribe, like, share, follow. You know what I mean? And you can find a Game Changer Sports Talk with DeeTrynt right up under that. You know, happy pre-4th of July for all those that still, you know, dabble in the holiday. You know what I mean? For most of me and my people, Juneteenth just happened like a week or two ago, 2 weeks ago, actually, to the date. So, you know, that's kind of more of our little Independence Day. But, you know, shout out to everybody, you know, repping that red, white, and blue, getting ready to pop off fireworks and all that. You know what I mean? Speaking on fireworks really been popping in the NBA, okay? NBA has been going crazy. It is free agency time, okay? Free agency time. Now we had the draft, all right. You know, draft happened. You know, Wembanyama went first. You know, Scoop went third. Brandon went second. The Thompson brothers went back to back. Ahmed and then Asor, and then it just kind of went haywire from there. And I ain't saying haywire in a bad way, but it was a lot of trades, a lot of movement, a lot of teams getting ready for the new CBA and all that to kick in and get ready for this year. But it's been a star-studded affair so far. I mean, first it popped off with Harrison Barnes re-signing with Sacramento for like 3 years, $54 million. Hey, whoever Harrison Barnes' agent is, that's the best agent in the world. I don't know how he keep earning contracts. I don't watch him play every day, so I probably got a lack of understanding. I don't know how he's still making that much bread though, and I don't feel like he a key contributor to that team. However, though, get your money, man. Whoever your agent is, though, I want him working for me. All right, I need to know what he know because his negotiation skills is fantastic. All right, but Harrison Barnes kicked it off. He resigned right before the deadline for free agency was to open. Then right after that, hold on, y'all. Yeah, though. So then free agency starts to kick off right, or right before it absolutely kicks all the way off. And then Kristaps Porzingis gets traded to Boston from Washington. And at first it was supposed to have been the Clippers in the deal, and Malcolm Brogdon was supposed to go over to the Clippers, but then the Clippers was like, we don't think he healthy enough. So, Porzingis had till midnight. Or actually, I think this was Wednesday. But Porzingis had till midnight for his for his for him to accept opt into his player option on his contract was for like 36 million. Um, and they called Memphis. Memphis said we'll get in if we can get Marcus Smart, and that's how it went down. I like Porzingis in Boston. I think Boston needed a stretch four or a stretch big man. They got one of the premier ones. You pair him with Robert Williams. You get Al Horford to come off the bench, and you got a nice big man rotation to go with Derek White, Malcolm Brogdon, who they still have, um, Jaylen Brown, and Jason Tatum. Link is in the chat if you want to get up here and talk, and get in on what's going on. We talking about on this free agency side. I know free agency started last Friday. It's the first time I actually even got up here and got to say something about it. You feel me? So, but yeah, let's So Bill gets traded to Phoenix. All right. And then Chris Paul was in that deal, and then Chris Paul ends up in Golden State. Now, for the most part, Golden State has been totally quiet. They've been hella quiet. But the Lakers and Phoenix in that division been making hella noise. So now with the new CBA, you could still have three max players, but those max players ain't gonna really leave you a lot of room to do nothing else with your roster. So a lot of teams going two, and then they trying to, some teams still gonna go three. Phoenix will probably be the first example of how to maneuver around this. They've been on a signing frenzy. They get Yuta Watanabe or Watanabe. It looked like wannabe, but I know it's Watanabe or something. It's a tall Asian player. He's like 6'9", 6'10", 7-foot wingspan, could shoot the tray. Played with Durant with the Nets last year. They got Keita Beta. They got Beta Jop. I think it's Keita Beta Jop. Yeah, from Keita Bates. Keita Bates Jop. From now he's an old state guy. Who been with the Spurs last few years, was drafted by Minnesota. But he might do something over there with them, man. That's a nice little, I ain't gonna lie, that's a nice little pickup for him. They got Cameron Payne back. They picked up we talking about the Phoenix Suns. They got Cameron Payne back, picked up Eric Gordon. Who else I see them over there with? Hold on. Let me get all these little players. Picked up Eric Gordon. Let me get some more of their joints. Yeah, they filled their roster out pretty nice. It ain't like a lot of the best names in the world, but it's a lot of different names of guys who've been playing in this league for a while, who understand what it takes to win. And I feel like they probably about to do something. I ain't gonna hold you. I think they're gonna do something nice. Now the Lakers lightweight went bananas though, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. The Lakers lightweight went bananas. So first thing the Lakers did was they retained their own free agents, right? They got D'Lo to come back on a 2-year deal. They end up getting Gabe Vincent from Miami on a 3-year, $33 million deal. They end up bringing back Austin Reeves on a 4-year, $56 million deal. They brought back Rui Hachimura on a 3-year, $51 million deal. They brought in Torian Prince. They was able to sign Cam Reddish. The The Lakers made a flurry of moves that I just thought was outstanding. So shout out to Rob Pelinka, the GM over there, for making these moves, doing what he do. I respect it. I felt like he definitely put the Lakers in a position to, at least try to contend, right? Uh, they're in a position to at least try. So Houston, right? Houston had about the most money to spend out of anybody, and they was ready to, get out there and do something, right? So what did they do? Well, they paid Fred. They gave Fred VanVleet, free agent from Toronto. They gave him 130 million. Uh, over 3 years, 100 over 4 years, right? 130 over 4 years. No, it was a 3 year deal. It's a 3 year deal. Whatever the case, dude making like 40 million this year, 44 million next year, like 46 million a year. Fred VanVleet, get your money. Now, Houston wasn't stopping there because then they signed Dylan Brooks, everybody's favorite offseason villain, right? He uh, was talking stuff to Bron and all that blew up and it did whatever it was going to do. And so now Dylan Brooks is going to Houston for 80 million. Yeah, he got 4 years, 80 million. He getting his bread. In the process of doing all that, right? The Rockets trade Tata Washington and Garuba, and I want to say 2 second-round picks to Atlanta, right? And that move was supposed to be a precursor to them signing Brooks Lopez. And Brooke Lopez, and he pulled the Carlos Boozer on him, y'all. he pulled the Carlos Boozer on him though. He was like, yeah, so I'm gonna come to Houston, and then Milwaukee was like, yeah, so we'll give you 2 years, 48 million, and he was like, ooh, 24 million a year at 36. I don't care what Houston giving me. I'm gonna go ahead and take that bag and still compete. So I don't knock him for the decision, but that's interesting how that played out. So in the process, though, Houston trades Josh Christopher to Memphis. They trade KJ Martin, uh, Kenyon Martin Jr. They traded him to the Clippers. So now you think about Houston and you say, well, damn, you got Van Fleet. Who's starting Jalen Green as you bringing Kevin Porter off the bench? You got Ahmed Thompson. I guess he doesn't start at the 3. I want to assume Dylan Brooks starts at the 3. Ahmed comes off the bench. So do you start Jabari and Sagun down there in the paint? Knowing Sagun not really a defensive guy. It's interesting to see, but it's still early in free agency, so we gotta see what other huge moves Houston gonna make. Kyrie, Uncle Drew, Uncle Drew got 3 years, 126. That's like 42 million a year to stay in Dallas. Uncle Drew, get your money, boy. I like the fact that he stayed there. Dallas made a few moves. They drafted Derek Lively. They traded for Rashawn Holmes from Sacramento. They did this all in the draft where they traded back 2 slots to get to 12. They end up getting Lively. They get Holmes. They still need some more big man. But I do like the fact that Kyrie stayed with Luka. They get them a nice big man that can score. They're gonna be cool. Christian Wood's still on the market. I'm hoping he become a Cavalier at some point. We're gonna see how that rolls. Who else? Oh, Cass was getting paid in the middle of the night. All right. Tyrese Halliburton got paid. He got a 5-year, $260 million extension in the middle of the night. DeMontis Sabonis got a 5-year, 217 extension. Anthony Edwards just got a 5-year, $260 million extension. Jordan Clarkson. Jordan Clarkson has been with Utah the last 5 seasons, I want to say. And I thought he was going to leave. I personally thought that the New York Knicks would have been a great place for him, personally. That's not how that went, though. He ends up staying in Utah. Now, Utah earlier, at the beginning of the free agency period, they traded Atlanta to get John Collins. Lauri Markkanen, who was the big story last year, got traded from the Cavs to Utah, ended up blossoming last year, had his best season ever as a pro. Uh, he is currently over in his home country fighting in the war, if I'm not mistaken. All prayers out to him, understand the sacrifice he made for his country. I'm saying? I hope he come back and ball with that same intensity that he had. Just come back. You know what I mean? Um, but I think that's a nice little, they got Clarkson. You get Markkanen with Collins. I think Markkanen will play more of the 3 role now. It is talks that they're trying to trade Colin Sexton, and Sexton may be going to the Bucks. It was rumored that the Milwaukee Bucks would love to get their hands on Colin Sexton. Man, I feel bad, bro. My boy Colin getting done dirty. He a scorer. Let him do that, and the rest of his game gonna follow, man. You gotta let certain people develop on the court. But it is what it is. A surprise signing, 2 of them actually. Kobe White stays in Chicago, 3 years, $30 million, and then Javon Carter signs for 3 years, $20 million. Now they already got Alex Caruso over there. To go with the 2 guys I just named. Lonzo Ball is supposed to be their starter, but Lonzo has a bad knee injury that he just has yet to come back from. I don't know what's up with Lonzo. Hopefully everything bodes out well. And speaking on Lonzo, his little brother just got paid though. LaMelo got the 5-year, $260 million extension. So Lonzo, it's all good. Lonzo signed for like 4 years, $85 million. I think he will be going on the 3rd year of that contract this year. But maybe it's the 2nd year. Was last year his first year on the team? No, I think last year was his 2nd year on the team. So I think that he'd be entering his 3rd year this season, which he's going to sit out of. Chicago has filed the league for the disability player exception because it looks like Lonzo Ball is going to miss out the entire season, which is unfortunate. To be honest, it's real unfortunate. Lonzo Ball is a really good player, and I argue that him trying to wear his own shoes didn't help his knees. Them bad shoes that whatever the case though. Um, all best wishes to Lonzo, right? Milwaukee lost a free agent and gained him. Chris Middleton opted out of his $40 million deal with 1 year left. And then he re-signed for 3 years, $102 million. Draymond Green, who opted out of his deal early, way before free agency started, he re-signed with Golden State for 4 years, $100 million. And Jordan Poole got traded. So in the deal that landed Chris Paul to Golden State, Jordan Poole got traded to the Washington Wizards. The Washington Wizards, in return, signed Kyle Kuzma to a 3-year, $102 million deal. Was it 3? Or I think it's 4. It might be a 4-year. Whatever the case. Yeah, I think it's 4 because Kuz, you get like 27 or something a year. Or 25 and a half. No, yeah, whatever the case is. Yeah, I think it's 25 and a half. Whatever the case is, though, I like what Washington's doing. They traded for Tyus Jones in that trade that sent Marcus Smart to Memphis. They cleared up a lot of cap room by getting Porzingis and Bradley Beal's contracts off the books. The prior CBA to the new one, NBA that's about to kick in, said that teams had to spend so much a salary. So they can't just be having a bunch of trash players on there that don't cost much. They got to have some type of money makers on their roster. So Washington felt that need with Jordan Poole's contract, who's like 4 years, 140 million, kicks in this year, and then Kyle Kuzma, with his 4-year, $100 million contract. They still got Johnny Davis down there, Denny Avija, Kendrick Nunn, I believe, is still over there. Monte Morris, I think. I want to say Monte Morris just got traded though, but I think Monte Morris still over there. So they still got some little pieces. Interesting to see what Washington gonna do though. I ain't gonna lie. What else going on in the NBA? Hold on. I know I ain't got to the Cavs yet. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm gonna go crazy when I go to the Cavs. Dennis Schroeder signs for 2 years, $26 million, to go to the Toronto Raptors. Bruce Brown got 2 years, $45 million to go to the Pacers. Kristaps Porzingis also did a 2-year, $60 million extension with Boston that should keep him over there for the next 3 years. Herb Jones, wingman from New Orleans Pelicans, got 4 years, $54 million. Jacob Poeltl, who was in San Antonio, got traded mid-season to the Toronto Raptors, re-signed for 4 years, $80 million. Who I missed? Cam Johnson, who was a part of the Kevin Durant trade that sent him, Mikal Bridges, and the various other assets to Brooklyn, and Phoenix got Kevin Durant. He re-signed with Brooklyn for 4 years, $108 million. Jeremy, I talked about this. Who pays Jeremy Grant $32 million a year? I can't get over this. All right, get your money, black man. But I don't understand. So Sacramento also signs the reigning EuroLeague MVP that I hope I don't mess his name up, but Sasha Vezenkov. And I heard he was a dog over there in the EuroLeague. Alex Len re-signs with Sacramento for 1 year, $3.2 million. Monte Morris was traded to the Detroit Pistons. Detroit, who else Detroit just traded for? They was just in another trade. I'm gonna find out in a second. Oladipo got traded from Miami to the Thunder just to clear up some cap space. Jackson Hayes, center from New Orleans, signs with the Lakers as well. Jalen McDaniels, a guy who was with Minnesota, is now with the Toronto Raptors for a 2-year, $9 million deal. Dwight Powell, big man from Dallas, he resigns with the Mavericks for 3 years, $12 million. Jake Landale gets a 4-year, $32 million deal from the Rockets, which is really only a 1-year, $8 million deal because the other 3 years aren't guaranteed. But hopefully, he get an opportunity. Let's see what he can do with it. Jay Crowder signs to 1-year deal with the Bucks. Patrick Beverly signs a 1-year deal with the 76ers. Desmond Bain gets a 5-year, $207 million extension that's fully guaranteed. Shout out to Desmond Bain for getting this money. The Pacers traded for Obi Toppin, 2 second-round picks, which was crazy. The Knicks signed Dante DiVincenzo to a 4-year, $50 million deal. What people don't understand is Dante DiVincenzo got 2 rings already. He won 1 ring with Minnesota, and then not Minnesota, with Milwaukee, and then won a ring with Golden State. So now he's reunited with the Knicks with his Villanova squad of Josh Hart and Jalen Brunson. That's about to be crazy, man. Russell Westbrook goes back to the Clippers for 2 years, $8 million. It's really like 7.8, but he goes back. And probably the biggest news, which I've strayed away from, the biggest news is Damian Lillard requesting a trade. All right. Now, speaking on requesting trades, James Harden picked up his player option, $36 million for Philly, and it came out that Philly and James Harden's group will be working on a trade. It was said he might go back to Houston, but then they signed Van Fleet, so I don't think he's going back to Houston. Where could James Harden end up? The world may never know. Damian Lillard. Now, it's interesting about Dame, right? Because Dame like 33, Dame a dog. He still got like 4 years, $200 million left on his deal. And he doesn't have a no trade clause. Portland is acting like they don't care what Dame want. They're going to get what they want. And I feel like that's corny. That's corny. That's corny. Why would you do that? Dame ain't gave y'all nothing but his heart and soul the whole time he been in Portland. The only reason y'all on the map right now is because of Dame Lillard. Now, I can understand Portland still having bad taste in their mouth because my boy LaMarcus Aldridge left. And had he not left, we could be having a different conversation about the Trailblazers. They already traded McCullough. They went in the draft and they got Scoot Henderson. Then they re-signed Jeremy Grant to that ridiculous contract. If I was Dame, I would have asked out too. Now, Dame said he want to go to Miami. Miami don't got it. I ain't gonna even lie. Miami don't got it at all. They don't have enough of anything. Yeah, so nerdy yellow dude say Van Fleet got paid more than Kyrie. That's cool. Van Fleet like 29, Kyrie like 31. That's cool. I mean, Van Fleet is an undrafted guy who went from undrafted to an NBA champion to a 3-year, $130 million contract. So, hey, Van Fleet definitely, pop your collar, my nigga. Pop your collar is what I say. Pop your collar, man. You get your money, man. I want cats to get their money. You feel me? I don't know how that's gonna work, but I think him and Dylan Brooks over there in Houston should give them a little more veteran leadership, or at least some type of seriousness on that team. I think the best option though, as far as trade wise, is probably gonna be Boston, because Jaylen Brown is up for that 5-year, $307 million extension, and he kind of already want to leave there. I think it would make sense if they traded Jaylen Brown.
Who you talking about? For Dame?
For Dame, yeah. Yeah, no, you get Dame with Tatum and Porzingis.
I do not want him to go to Boston.
You don't want him to go to Boston?
Hell no. Hate Boston.
Why not? Hey, fuck Boston.
Yeah,
Boston as a record label entity, and if you down with Boston, fuck you too.
I do not like Boston fans and shit. I'm cool on Boston. He need to go somewhere else. But I heard what was it last night? I heard that the Trailblazers ain't thinking about his record,
What he want?
his, yeah, like what he want? Because what he say? He said he wanted the Heat. I think he had a few teams. Damn, I need some water in my damn throat, man.
Yeah, Miami, Boston, the Clippers was on there. Uh,
Clippers.
Brooklyn was kind of on there, and the Spurs.
Yeah, I'm hearing they going for the best deal. They ain't thinking about none of that.
I'm like way hoping that
I was hearing something about the Bucks, but I
the
don't know
Bucks.
how they go. Yeah, what the Bucks got?
I mean, they don't really got a lot to be offering. I mean, they would have to probably give up like Drew Holiday, which I don't think that's gonna be enticing. They could do Middleton and make it like a sign and trade thing. Um, I don't know how that's gonna work though. I ain't gonna lie to you. I feel like Boston got the best thing because they can send back Jaylen Brown, and that's probably the best player out of any of all the players that you're gonna get back in return. Um, Outside of that, but I don't know who really could. I don't really know. Like, I feel like OKC should try to go get him and because they got all them picks, they try to go get him and Aiden. And if you get Dame and Aiden with Shea Gildress and Chet Holmgren and Josh Giddey, that's a fire ass squad. I'd try to do it. Um, it ain't a lot of play. I mean, they trying to get Dame in Philly. I guess it would be Harden, but they wouldn't want Harden. Harden wouldn't want to go there, so they need like a third team for that alone. And then um, Portland probably gonna want Tyrese Maxey, which absolutely makes no sense. I think they should want Tobias Harris. If they is gonna do that, you take Tobias and Harden, um, and then you can trade Harden to a third team. Keep Tobias, let Tobias and Jeremy Grant run with the little young squad you got. You know what I'm saying? They probably want to get off a Nurkic contract, but I don't know who's gonna pick up Nurkic because Nurkic's gonna have to come off the bench. Well, whoever pick him up, they ain't gonna let him start, so it ain't gonna really be no. Um, Bruh, look, it's lightweight slim pickings for Dame. I ain't gonna lie. I guess somebody said this trade was like 3 years too late, and I think they got a point. But I'm just more like, bruh, like Dame ain't got a lot of options. I like him with Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo though. I ain't gonna lie,
Yeah, I
like,
would love to see that.
but they don't got a lot. I think this gonna turn into like a 12-team trade, to be honest, because
It's definitely gonna be a lot of teams involved. I don't know about 12.
man, because no, so listen, right? So you gotta think about it, right? DeAndre Ayton, I don't care what nobody say. DeAndre Ayton does not want to stay in Phoenix, right? So you got Ayton, Harden, Dame, all right? Then I feel like Joel Embiid should just request a trade anyway, right? So now you get these 4 players on the market, bro. That's at least 7, 8 teams involved right there. Then you start picking off parts that they really don't want. You know, if Philly like, look, we gonna hold on to Maxey, but we just gonna trade Tobias and that, then that's another team for Tobias because maybe Portland don't want him. You know what I'm saying? That now we at 9 teams. Like, hey, Nurkic got to come off. He got to go to a team. Now we at 10. You know what I mean? Look, this I feel like this should become a big ass trade. It's still a couple teams that need some pieces that's looking to be able to do a few things. You feel me? So, but look, I done delayed long enough, man. I'll be off for 30 minutes. You know what I'm saying? DeeTrynt, Game Changer Sports Talk, Industry Sports, streaming on multiple media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. Follow us on IG at Industry Sports or at DeeTrynt. If you miss a live streaming, you can catch the replays on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, and various other streaming platforms. Just, subscribe to the Industry Sports channel, and then up under that, you will find Game Changer Sports Talk with DeeTrynt. I'm a homer, man. Let's talk about a team that everybody's been talking about lightweight for their free agency moves, and that's them Cleveland Cavaliers. All right? So, the Cavs open their free agency. They decline the option on Dylan Windler, which is 5.9. They don't take him. They pick up the option on Lamar Stevens. They pick up the option on Chetty Osman. Turn right around, trade both of those guys in a 3-team trade with Miami, San Antonio, and Cleveland, where Cleveland gets Max Strus. Miami gets a second-round pick and a trade exception, and the Spurs get Chetty, Lamar Stevens, and a second-round pick. Matt Strus, undrafted guy, earned his way up. Cavs signed him to a 4-year, $63 million deal. They re-signed Karis LeVert to a 2-year, $36 million. 36? 32, I think it is. $32 million deal. They signed Georges Niang from Philly to a 3-year, $24 million deal. They signed guard Ty Jerome, and they traded for big man Damian Jones. He was who Damian Jones was with the Wizards, I think. Wherever the case is, the Cavs made some good moves. The Cavs did what most people were clamoring for, and they got better shooting. Georges Niang is a career 40% shooter from the 3, 50% from the corners. Max Strus had the season of his career last year. Shoots better than 30-something% from the field, like 38%, almost 40%. And both of these are tall guys. Max Strus is 6'5", like 215 or something. Georges Niang like 6'7", 6'8", like 225, 230. You add Damian Jones, who's 6'11", 245. You add Ty Jerome, who's like 6'5", 210 or something like that. I think he might be like 220. You still got Rubio and Dean Wade. They drafted Amani Bates. And listen, the Cavs address shooting, right? With the exception of Damian Jones, who actually can shoot from long range, all their acquisitions are better shooters than what they gave out. So to me, it gives them more versatility between the 2 and 3, and even the 4 a little bit when it's Darius' turn to just do what he do best, or when it's Donovan's turn to do what he do best. Like, you put Darius out there, and you can put Darius with a core role and Georges Niang at the 1, 2, and 3, and then you can play Evan at the 5 or whatever, or play Allen at the 5 and throw in a 4. It could, since he's on the roster right now, let's just say Dean Wade. So now you can stretch the floor. You got a guy who can play above the rim. You got a guard who can get open. And that helps a lot. Spacing the floor. It gives a lot more opportunities for the lob game. And that looks good. Let's just say you got to bring those guys off the bench. I mean, put those guys on the bench. Now you can run with a Donovan, Levert, a Matt Strus, with a Mobley, and or you could put a Coro, or put Rubio down there. However you want to do it. You can run a small lineup and still have a true big man down there that's open in the paint. So I like what the Cavs did on the shooting side. I'm trying to figure out what they're gonna do on the big man side, and with all these trades going on, I can see Kobe Altman trying to get in where he fit in. I feel like they still need a rebounder, and yeah, they need a rebounder because I want to see Amani play. I want to see Isaiah Mobley play. I want to see what Craig Porter Jr. is going to bring to our team. These are guys I want to see get to play some minutes during the season. I'm really harping on how JB gonna up his tempo, or how he gonna adjust the play style. There's a lot of talk about trading Jared Allen. Okay, I'm not gonna lie and say that when the playoffs ended, I wasn't one of those people talking about some trade Jared Allen. I was upset. I was very upset. And now, hey, trade him, get him up out of there. All right. But now that I actually came to my senses, that's not really something you want to do. You don't want to trade Jared Allen because you don't need to right now, to be honest. Jared Allen is not going to get you back a piece that is going to move the needle for this team. People will say we still need a small forward. There's a lot of talk. Miles Bridges, right? Name we ain't heard in a while. Miles Bridges signed a qualifying offer. It's like $7.9 million to stay in Charlotte. There were a lot of people talking that the Cavs might get him. I just feel like, though, with all the signings they just did, why you still worried about the small forward position? Imani Bates is going to be a problem in this league. I'm hoping that, he gets some shine this year. I'm really hoping that he just takes off in the summer league and they got to give him a role on the team. But I think him getting to play every day in the G League is definitely going to help him, help his game, help him be ready for when the Cavs ready to bring him up. And he could be a part of the future going forward. He only like 19. So if he sits till he's 21 and he just get his game up and get his weight up, and you move forward with, him, Mobley, Garland, and Okoro, that's a nice little foursome right there. I like what the Cavs did so far, but it just, I don't know, man. I need you to do something else in the big man room. Like, I really don't want to see. I don't want to see Okoro. I mean, not Okoro. I want Rubio and Dean Wade going. If you're gonna get rid of the guys, fuck it, get rid of them. Dean Wade and Rubio's contract coming to about 12, almost 13 million. Give me a bid. See if you can run a sign and trade with Dallas to get Christian Wood. That would be my pick. You get him on a 3-year, $36 million deal. You know what I'm saying? You get him over here with Strus and Levert and the Yang and Jones. Now you got a nice little rotation going down there. I want to see that. I really like. Cavs need another backup guard and a center. So with this Wellington saying Cavs need another backup guard and a center. So when it comes to the guard, right? I don't know if they do, right? And that's why I say that, right? Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell are 6'1", right? There is going to be a lot of times in the seasons where they don't play with each other. Darius is going to lead the group. Donovan is going to lead the group. So, with that being said, and then there's going to be times when they're not on the floor at all, right? So you got a Karis LeVert, who's a ball dominant guard, which is how you want him to get off. Then you also got Ty Jerome. So Ty Jerome is another guy, even though he's a 6'5" guy, he can play a lot of point guard. He can really do some things for you at the guard position. And then you got Craig Porter. If this is about development, at some point you got to develop your future point guards, right? I mean, Tony Parker is a great example of that, right? Second round pick, didn't really play like that. Avery Johnson played, but he grew up in the system and eventually he became that guy. Now, I'm not saying Craig Porter Jr. is going to be that guy, and he probably could. But you also still got Sharif Cooper down there, too. So the Cavs have guards that they could groom up and bring up. I don't really think they need a guard. And they got big guards that can them help them throughout the season. The center side though, they definitely need a center. Now I'm all for letting Damian Jones see what he could do. You still got Isaiah Mobley, which is why I want to see him play. I wish they would have kept Diakite. I thought he would have felt nice in that role. But maybe they bring up Khalifa Jock. Maybe they feel like this might be a time to let him come up and grow with the young team. Um, maybe they talk about bringing up Luke Travers. Who knows how Summer League gonna play out? And Summer League is getting ready to get underway. First game to kick off the Summer League season on NBA TV, Miami versus the Lakers. That will be starting at 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time if you out west. Game at 7 o'clock will be Memphis and the Sixers. You can catch that on ESPN Plus. Then you'll have the Spurs versus the Hornets, where you get Victor Wembanyama facing off against the number 2 pick, Brandon Miller. That'll be at 9 o'clock on ESPN Plus. It's a game at 8 and it's a game at 10. Hold on, let me tell y'all what that's gonna be. So yeah, it's a game at 8. No, Warriors and Kings at 10. Yeah, and Spurs and Hornets at 8. So yeah, it's 4 games today. Okay, 4 games today. Um, and it's nice because tonight you'll get to see the top 2 picks go at it, right? You'll get to see a couple of guys from last year who got significant minutes get to play. So I'm assuming Utah got Ochai Agbaji out there. I really want to see how his game to groove, and if he gonna earn him some minutes over there in Utah, since it's wide open. I don't know what, but that's why I say on the center side though, Wellington though. That's why I'm like, I want to see him get Christian Wood, bro. Get Christian Wood over here. You know what I'm saying? You got Jones. You know what I'm saying? You got Isaiah Mobley, so you got one to groom. You know what I'm saying? Later on, something might come up and, we can get in on a nice little trade for a little piece of something. I think, though, whatever big man they bring got to be able to score, though. That's my whole thing. Your big man got to be able to score. He got to have some type of offensive threat. He has to be some type of offensive threat. He can't just come over here. But what the Cavs have done so far has been pretty nice. They didn't call the attention of the whole league. Now, I wanted Bobby Portis, but Wood is nice too, though. Yeah, Bobby Portis. I think he believed he went back. He got a nice little contract with the Bucks. I mean, Bobby Portis nice, but I don't know if he would have been cool with coming off the bench over here. So, but Wood is definitely who I'm on though. It's some other guys still out there that they can bring in. Udoka. It's a couple of guys that they can bring in. But I feel like right now I just want to see what they summer league look like. I feel like as far as like the main pieces, like you ain't got you got main pieces. You know what I'm saying? You got two guards that can give you 25 apiece. You got two big men that can give you double doubles. You got guys off the bench that can score and shoot. You got a raw perimeter defender, Isaac Okoro. So you got everything you kind of need. Amani Bates, I need him to come up. 6'9", 182 right now. If he can get to 190 by the end of the season, 195, man, he gonna be a problem. And he is exactly what the Cavs needed, though. Like long term, because to me, long term, the Cavs should be looking like, okay, Garland, Mobley, Okoro, Bates should be in a long term plans, in my opinion. And then you just find you a four, find you a stretch four. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people is down on the Okoro. I don't care. I'm high on the Okoro. I feel like he already got a raw perimeter defensive game. You know what I'm saying? One-on-one defensive game. If all he got to do is just get confident in his offensive game. It ain't like he don't got one. And JB can definitely help out with adjusting his game planning, but I feel like it's a breakout year for Okoro. And if he does that, it makes the Cavs bench look even more better because now you can keep Okoro starting. And then, look, you come off the bench with LeVert, Strus, Niang. I know that's pretty gas. People keep saying Niang might play the backup four. I don't like him playing the backup four. He's too small. I like him being a situational specialist. You know what I'm saying? He gonna come in, play smart, stretch the floor. I think he should have a lot of opportunities to get 5 or 6 threes a game. Strus as well, just because Garland and Mitchell penetrate so well. And with the evolution of Mobley game, I would expect it to be a lot more open shots available for guys on the perimeter. But the Cavs they kind of got me excited. I ain't gonna lie, they kind of got me excited. We also got Pete Nance, which is Larry Nance's little brother. Pete Nance may turn out to be. I mean, he was a North Carolina guy. He was at Michigan. He went to North Carolina. I think Pete Nance can make some noise too. So I like how the Cavs set up right now. I feel like this season right here is the determining factor. At the end of this year, it'll be 2 years left on Allen's deal. It'll be 1 more year left on Mitchell's deal. And if I'm the Cavs, man, I'm like, look, we gonna go as far as we can go this year, and then next year, guess what? LeVert got a 1-year deal. It'll be an expiring contract. Mitchell will be expiring contract with 1 year left on his deal. Jay Allen to have a nice little, and look, you can trade all of them. It's about longevity. You know what I'm saying? People try to play for just the right now. You got to play both. You got to play for the right now and the long term because you want to sustain. You want to be consistent and sustain a nice, especially for a team that's still building this culture up, still coming out of that losing mentality, But the Cavs have done very well so far in the offseason. I get him a B right now. I felt like Strus was a little overpaid. I felt like Niang was a little overpaid. But Cleveland is a market where you're not going to get people just to sign up to move there. So sometimes you got to overpay to get what you need. Hopefully those guys get over here and they They bring that same energy they had when they was in all them other places, man. Don't get over here and be a dud. Be the same stud you was that made a sign. Um, but yeah, man, free agency, NBA is gonna be crazy. I think the Lakers could end up jumping in there and swinging a nice little package to get Dame. Um, I'm really interested to see where Harden go. That's gonna be and he might stay in Philly though. He might just do stay in Philly. You know what I'm saying? But we gonna see how it work out, man. Yeah, I wanted to get up here and ride with y'all on the NBA right quick. Chopped up a little bit about the Cavs and NBA free agency. We only into what is the third, so we only 4 days into free agency. It's still a lot of names, still a lot of trades, a lot of movement still gonna be going on. So I appreciate y'all rocking with me. DeeTrynt, Game Changer Sports Talk, in the Street Sports, streaming on multiple media platforms. I said Google, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook. Follow us on IG at InDaStreetzSportz or at DeeTrynt. If you missed the live streaming, please follow us, like, subscribe. You can catch us on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, various other streaming platforms. Just subscribe to the Industry Sports channel and then go ahead and subscribe to Game Changer Sports Talk with DeeTrynt. We have some articles and stuff going up soon. Football season is around the corner, so we definitely going to be talking Browns and NFL soon. But right now, I just wanted to talk NBA free agency, talk about these moves. I ain't touch a lot on Chris Paul going to the Warriors, which is crazy. Um, but that's a veteran team. It's gonna be interesting to see how Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody act about this. Having Chris Paul there. But we gonna see how it shake out, man. But it was a pleasure rocking with y'all. I am DeeTrynt, man. Y'all stay good, stay blessed. Happy holidays to everybody who enjoying the 4th of July. You know what I'm saying? Wear your colors, have fun, stay safe. You know what I'm saying? And send me a plate. Send me a plate. You feel me? Email me. Let me know where I can pick the plate up at. You feel me? We got some good eating. But man, y'all be easy, man. I'm gonna catch y'all later.